Most people misunderstand risk. Insurance without understanding is dangerous, and risk without awareness is expensive. When you hear the word risk, you probably think of danger, loss, or bad luck. Something bad waiting to happen. But risk is not just something bad. Risk is uncertainty. It simply means that something could happen, good or bad. Every day we take risks without even realizing it. When you leave your house in Accra, Kumasi, Lagos, or Nairobi, you are taking a risk. When you start a business, when you invest money, when you drive a car, even when you decide to do nothing, that is risk. The problem is not risk itself. The problem is not understanding it. Across Ghana and many parts of Africa, there is a dangerous belief about insurance. People say things like, "Once I'm insured, nothing can happen." That is not true. Insurance does not stop accidents. Insurance does not stop illness. Insurance does not stop fire, theft, floods, or death. What insurance does is transfer financial risk. Let's break that down in simple terms. Imagine you own a small shop at Medina Market. Your shop and goods are worth 30,000 cedis. There is a risk of fire. You cannot fully control electricity faults. You cannot control what happens in neighboring shops. If a fire happens and you are not insured, you carry the full loss alone. But when you buy insurance, you are saying, if this loss happens, I don't want to carry the full financial burden myself. So you transfer that burden to an insurance company in exchange for a small payment called a premium. The risk still exists, but the financial shock is reduced. That is what insurance really is. Another major misunderstanding in Africa is this: insurance is for rich people. That belief has destroyed families, small businesses, and livelihoods. In reality, insurance is most important for people who cannot afford large losses. If you are wealthy, losing 10,000 cedis may be painful, but manageable. But if you are running a small business or living month to month, that same loss can wipe out everything. Insurance is not a luxury. It is a financial survival tool. Now let's talk about types of risk, using real-life examples. First, personal risk. This includes illness, injury, disability, and death. In Ghana, when a breadwinner falls sick, the whole family feels it. Medical bills rise, income stops, school fees become a struggle. This is why health insurance and life insurance matter. Life insurance is not about death. It is about protecting the people who are still alive. Second, property risk. This covers damage to houses, shops, cars, and equipment. Flooding in Accra, fire outbreaks in markets, road accidents on our highways. These are not rare events. They happen every year. Yet many people say, God will protect me. Faith is important. But faith without planning is financial danger. Third, business risk. Many African businesses do not fail because they are unprofitable. They fail because they are unprepared for risk. One fire, one major theft, one lawsuit, one sudden death of the owner, and the business collapses. Insurance helps businesses survive after shock. Now let's clarify an important concept: risk management. Risk management does not mean avoiding risk. If you avoid all risk, you won't start a business, you won't invest, you won't grow. Risk management means you identify the risk, you understand its impact, and you decide how to handle it. There are 4 main ways to deal with risk. You can avoid it, you can reduce it, you can transfer it through insurance, or you can accept it. Insurance is only one tool in risk management. It is not the whole solution. This is why many people get disappointed with insurance. They expect insurance to prevent problems, fix every loss, and pay every claim. But insurance only pays for covered risks under agreed conditions. If you don't understand your policy, you are not insured. You are guessing. And now, let's bring this home. Knowledge is protection. Insurance without understanding is dangerous. Risk without awareness is expensive. If you are a student, an entrepreneur, a worker, or a business owner, This knowledge affects your future. And if you are building something, a business, a family, a legacy, you must understand risk. This is the Risk Lens with Dennis, where we look at money, life, and business through the lens of risk, clearly, practically, and honestly. Subscribe to the Risk Lens with Dennis, because risk is everywhere. But ignorance is optional.